Hello everyone, welcome back to J Socials match review. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Obviously the game yesterday was a win, well-deserved win. Not the greatest performance, but I just wanted to say, I don't know if I'm the only person, but the last 20 days, the last 4 fixtures that we've had has been a breath of fresh air. It's been the most stress-free, the most relaxed time as a Manchester United fan. You know, we've gone through over 2 seasons of Ten Hag, and unfortunately for most of that it's been very hard. It's been very hard being a Manchester United fan. It's been very difficult. Obviously, we're always going to support our club. We're always going to want to be fans and passionate and want the best for our clubs. For the last year or so, been going through some difficult times, but I'm going to be talking about the Ten Hag stuff later in the video, but I just wanted to quickly talk about the match yesterday. 3-0, Bruno Fernandes got his brace, unfortunately didn't get his hat-trick. Ahmad once again stepped up to the plate, you know, especially for a player who has been sidelined, and I don't want to use the word shadow banned by Ten Hag for some reason that we might never know about, but it's really great to see him back playing on the field, happy. He's looked very confident, Amad Diallo, man. He's looked very, very confident. We haven't had a player since Paul Pogba that excites you every time he gets the ball. You know, it's been a while, guys. Like, I know, yes, we haven't really gotten the results, but the one thing that you still want to see as a fan is you want to still see some type of excitement on the ball. And we haven't seen that in a long time from majority of our players. You know, so I think Ahmed, I hope he can continue to kick on injury-free. And I just want to see Amarin, the new manager that's coming in, I want to see how he can use these players, utilize these players. I know there's already talks of him having his targets, but I just want to see what he can do with this group of players, because as much as the last 4 fixtures haven't been, you know, sensational football, we've seen a structure. We've gone back to basics, something that we were not able to do. The gap were more solid defensively. Onana looks more comfortable. The defenders look more comfortable. You know, shout out to Delete. You know, Mathis Delete. I know I'll put my hand up and say when he first came in, I was a little skeptical. I thought we brought in another Maguire just because of his time at Barcelona, his time at Bayern Munich. I wasn't confident, but since he's come in, he has been one of our standout players. Yes, he had the 1 red card. That was unfortunate, but Delete has definitely been one of the better signings that we've had lately. Mazraoui, what a player, what a player. So casual on the ball, but yet he gives you 100% week in, week out. I can't speak enough of Mazraoui. So but yeah, just yesterday, I think it was just once again we just saw free-flowing football. There didn't seem to be this chains, and you know, they just seemed to be free. And I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I joked about it. It seems like these players are performing better without the stress of having a permanent manager. So I said to myself, maybe Ineos could just play the long-term game and just keep saying, we're going to get a new coach, we're going to get a new coach, and just see how long these players continue to perform for Van Nistelrooy. But we already know who the new coach is going to be, so I'm not going to talk on that too much. But just going back to the game yesterday, there wasn't, you know, as much as it wasn't really that fantastic of a performance, there were just little things that you could take out of. Like, you know, we talked about the defense already. You know, we're talking about, look at the double pivot with Casemiro and Ugarte. When Ugarte first came in, I wasn't sure, because once again, he looked like he was struggling in that 6th position by himself, something that Casemiro had struggled with last season. And you know, the other people like Paul Pogba's, the McFreds that we put in those situations, in those positions, have all not been successful. So that was already a concern for me. But since under Ruud's management, having that double pivot of Casemiro and Ugarte has actually worked. We've seen a little bit of stability. We're starting to see the best of Casemiro again. You know, the player that a lot of people wanted out this club just last season or even a couple of weeks ago. People have always wanted Casemiro out, and I've never really understood that energy for Casemiro. Yes, does he make mistakes? But a lot of our mistakes come from just being under pressure constantly, not being organized, leaving too many gaps in the field, having no midfield. Like, we have so much space between the defense and the offense under Ten Hag. So when you combine all these things, players getting injured, you know, we talk about players getting injured. Part of the reason players get injured a lot is because they're having to run way too much. You know, those of you that have played football will know that when your team isn't set up properly and when there's a lot of holes, you're going to be doing a lot of running, especially when you don't have the ball or you don't have a system that allows you to retain possession of that ball. So that's why a lot of our players have struggled. And 4 games, Ruud didn't do anything special. He just went back to basics. You know, be strong defensively and just let your wide players be free. And we've seen that. You know, Garnacho has continued to score goals, even though for some reason he started pretty much 90 minutes in almost all the games under Ten Hag, which did not make any sense to me, while a player like Amad Diallo was on the bench. But this is not about comparison, and I think this is something that, as Manchester United fans, we need to stop these comparisons of it either has to be Garnacho or Ahmed, it has to be Rashford or Martial, or Xerxes or Højlund. We got to stop it, and we just got to realize that we are a team, and there are games that are going to be suited to certain players, and there are other games that will be suited to other players. Or we're going to have a game whereby it's not working for one, we're going to bring the other one in to see what they can do differently. So just going back to the Casemiro-Ugarte pivot, fantastic. Casemiro has, like I've said, has been one of our standout players, low-key. He's one of our top goal scorers in the box. Like, you know, who else is scoring goals from free kicks for us? Like, from set pieces, I mean. Nobody else. I haven't really seen that many people score from set pieces on our team, except for Casemiro. And that's one skill that we need. That's how the Real Madrid's won a lot of trophies. When you have center backs like your Sergio Ramoses that can get you those goals. Look at Arsenal with Gabriel. Like, you need those kind of players that in set pieces inside the box, they are lethal. We need those. Right now we're lacking. You know, we're lacking, so we got to be careful how we're trying to go with this whole thing. So I think Casemiro still has a role to play at Manchester United. I'm happy to see Ugarte is finally coming into form, and I want to see how things progress. It's gonna be interesting to see if Mainoo's fit, if he's gonna be a starter or if he's just gonna be an understudy under Casemiro and Ugarte. He still has a lot to learn in his game. And when you have likes of Casemiro and Ugarte, there's no reason that we should be bringing Mainoo should be starting week in, week out. There should be games for him. I think we need to manage his minutes better. Same with Garnacho. I've talked about that. We need to manage these guys' minutes. Garnacho, Ahmed, they all need to be managed. But at the same time, they got to ensure that we're providing them that confidence to continue to perform and feel like they are part of this club. They want to grow with this club. Because that's something that we haven't done in a long time. There wasn't, you know, other than that, it was just, you know, Ahmed did his thing. What a great assist to Bruno Fernandes, you know, for the second goal. What a fantastic, you know, sensational football. Just dynamic, not, you know, every time you get the ball, you got to stop, you know, put your head down, try to go through 5 players. Sometimes you just need to do a one-touch football. And that's all we need sometimes, just one-touch football, be dynamic, you know, catch defenders off guard. So overall, man, I just wanted to say, like, this 4 fixtures have just been, they've been fantastic. And I just want to say thank you, Ruud. Thank you. That's the title of the video. Thank you, Ruud. Thank you, man, because just a month ago we were not sure what kind of team we had. Just a month ago we were not sure if we had to basically clear out this entire team again that Ten Hag got. Ten Hag got what, 16 players under his time as manager. 16 players, and out of those 16 players, we're talking about Mazraoui and now Matches Delete. Those are the only 2 players that we have confidently said have been potentially a success under Ten Hag. Martinez had a really great first season, but ever since then, I don't know if it's just the injuries that he's been dealing with, but he hasn't really been up to par I don't know if it's a lot of the, you know, international games, traveling back to Argentina, you know, injuries, but he hasn't really been up to par. But I'm not going to sit here and try to call individuals, because all roads lead to the dugout. You know, if everybody's struggling on a team, then at some point we have to start looking at the common denominator, because it's like, it can't just be that all these players are just that bad, you know, because when they go play for the international teams, they seem to do all right. You know, we had a player like Palestri that always started for the national team for Uruguay, but could never get minutes at United. These are those things as fans that we just need to take a step back. You know, I know emotions get very high sometimes, but we just need to be able to take a step back, put things into context. So I'm just really interested to see how Amorim comes in, sets this team up, and let's start to play football. I'm not asking for us to be tiki-taka, pep type of ball. I just want us to play attacking football like we know Manchester United knows how to play. And I believe we do have those players that can play the system that we want to play. You know, I think we've scapegoated these players way too much, and is at the point now where it's like, we just need to find a coach that is not scared to try different things, is not scared to bench players at certain times in the game. You know what I mean? We just need to have I'm not asking for a strict manager that it's like all militant. That's not what I'm asking for, because that does not, the Mourinho style of management does not work in 2024. We need a nice balance of like a Carlo Ancelotti mixed with like a Klopp. That's what that's the kind of manager that I think Manchester United needs, and I hope Amorim can create that kind of balance that we need. We need that father figure like Don Carlo and the tactician of Klopp. Players with skill and technique are able to express themselves. You know, that's the kind of coach that I want to see at Manchester United, and that's what Old Trafford deserves. That's what Old Trafford deserves. The one other point I want to really quickly talk about was, you know, Rasmus Højlund. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this, but he's a worker. He's a hard worker. I think he's got a future at the club, but I don't know to what capacity he has that future. And the reason I say this is because I don't know what it is with him. He's always caught one-on-one, hugging a defender, falling over every single time. And I'm like, I don't really understand why. You know, and I understand that, and you know, a lot of fans are they're not a big fan of Xerxes, because Xerxes is not fast. He doesn't run. He's like a Martial. He doesn't seem to be, he doesn't seem as mobile. But the difference with Xerxes is that a lot of times he's better positioned to receive the ball. A lot of times he's able to lay off the ball, link up the play. He's not falling on the ground half the time. And I think this is stuff with Rasmus Højlund is, he's falling on the ground way too much, and it's the kind of stuff where it's like, we're not winning free kicks from that. It's one thing if we were winning free kicks. We're not winning free kicks, so it's, a lot of times it's just possessions lost, and it's causing pressure on our team because we're losing the ball a lot quicker. So at the end of the day, the opponent has a quicker transition. So it's just something that it's just been kind of irking me a little bit of, why is he always on the ground? Why is he always like wrestling with a defender? Why can't he just find a way to position himself to clear up space, you know, receive the ball, face the defender versus always backing the defender? And I think that's something that he needs to work on. So, but yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts were in that game. Like I said, it wasn't anything spectacular, but the one thing that I think I took out from, well, at least the 4 matches that we've played under Ruud, is we actually don't have a bad team. I would arguably say that we're probably 6th best, 6th, 7th best in England, just like from a squad standpoint. And then the coaching is going to make the difference. Then, you know, the fine margins will come in coaching, in player management, injuries. That's what the fine margins start to make a difference. But other than that, guys, I think we have a team that we can be comfortable. I think we can be confident for the second half of the season. If Amorim can come in and implement some type of system in play. But what did you guys think about about the game yesterday? What do you guys think? Should Ruud stay? You know, I don't wanna get all giddy. I don't want to get giddy and say Ruud should stay, because at the end of the day, you know, we were there on the Ole. You know, we've been here, we've done that on the Ole. We had a fantastic run. First, I would say 3 months on the Ole. We got him the contract, and then the wheels fell off. So I'm a little skeptical with the whole, you know, should Ruud stay at the club? But I believe that he could stay at the club, you know, in some kind of capacity, because he's built that trust with the players. And who knows, like this project that we're talking about with Amarin, I'm being optimistic that it is successful, but we actually don't know if it's going to be successful. Sorry guys, it's a little windy out here, right? So it might be a good thing to just kind of keep him around, learn from Amarin, and maybe if we ever need a stopgap manager, he's right there to just slot in. We don't need to, you know, make this a whole charade and make it, you know, breaking news, 24-hour news. We just get the job done. And but other than that, man, I think Ruud has, you know, Ruud deserves his respect. He's still a legend. Sorry, he's still a legend of the game. And God, it's cold. My coffee's cold now. I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. He's this last 20 days, Ruud has brought some joy. He has brought some smile to Old Trafford, something that we haven't seen in many months. We haven't seen that in many months, guys. But anyways, I will be doing a video coming out on Amarin's takeover as Manchester United's head coach. So watch out for that within the week, since it's international break. You know, try to hopefully build a community here as well. But anyways, as always, it's been a pleasure. Please like and subscribe. And once again, thank you, Ruud van Nistelrooy, for your services.